Glow up, level up, become unrecognizable. While the terms for personal development have evolved over the years, the core principle is the same: growth. And I love what I've seen over recent years of spiritual and mental growth being a larger part of that. But I think in our world, it's very easy for those things to get tangled up in the webs of consumerism and needing all the things. And I'm here to say that's just simply not true. I have seen it firsthand working in a crystal store, seeing people spend hundreds of dollars on crystals and gizmos. And it's been that way for me too. I've probably spent thousands on my little inventory. And while I love my collection, I can now say years later, I could have gotten the same results. I could have been exactly where I am today without them. There are quite honestly only a few tools that I would consider essential at this point, and I threw them all into a cart. You can get them for less than $50. The only items that I continue to buy regularly, the first items that I would buy if I ever had to start over, all cost less than 50 bucks. So let me break down my mental and spiritual health starter pack. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Imani. On this channel, we talk about all things mind, body, spirit wellness, mental health, and spiritual wellness tools, and so much more. I'm honestly gonna get right into it with an item that's so important to me. I have two of them. This is the very first one that I bought, and the other one is where the camera is sitting right now, because I used it this morning. Clearly no regrets. Now the reason I recommend this is because so many wonderful things can happen on a yoga mat. When you're rolling out a yoga mat, whether it's for stretching, whether it's for meditating, whether it's for doing a yoga flow, you are completely setting the stage for a moment all about yourself. A place for you to tune into your mind, tune into your body, tune into your breath, and reconnect with yourself. We live in an age where we are constantly getting pulled in so many different directions. It can sometimes feel selfish to take a moment for yourself. But I'm gonna say it, sometimes selfishness is okay. I have found that these times where I take 10, 15, 20 minutes to be selfish pays itself back in dividends in the way that I'm interacting with other people and going through my life. If 10 to 30 minutes of being a little self-centered results in a lifetime of feeling better about myself, therefore being kinder to other people and better to them, then I'm willing to pay that price every single time. And if you don't want to be that person that is there for everyone, but you can tell they low-key don't want to be there for everyone, then I would recommend starting a practice like that as well. There's so much talk of magnetism and attracting things, and those principles have never shown themselves as strongly as they did when I started taking time to myself, whether it was breath work, stretching, a yoga flow, just sitting on my mat and tuning in. Now, another thing that I will never be without and always have multiples of is incense. And my non-woo-woo people, just walk with me for a second, okay? Just walk with me for a little bit. The benefits of aromatherapy are scientific. Science tells us that we are constantly taking in external stimuli. We are seeing things, hearing things, feeling, tasting, and you guessed it, smelling things. And our bodies respond to this external stimuli in different ways. So there's a reason why lavender is very soothing and calming. You'll see it in a lot of bath soaks. And you see things like citrus in athletic sprays and electrolyte mixes and energy drinks, because citrus tends to have a very energizing effect on us. And learning this has changed the game for me in terms of how I operate. If I have a big task coming up or want to change the mood, shift the tone of my space, I'll use different scents. And I like this because, like yoga, it's not a huge mind game. You really just get to let your body do its thing. Which brings me to these essential oils. These are great for two things. One, if you're in a place where you can't really burn incense, you can use essential oils for the same aromatherapy benefits, placing them in a diffuser, or number two, putting them with other oils like jojoba, coconut, sweet almond oils to dilute them, and then put them on your body, on your pressure points. Since we're talking favorites, I have a friend who is really, really good at doing this, and she's actually crafted a line of oil elixirs. My favorite one is this one, the Body of a Goddess, and if you're on a level up or growth journey, this is definitely that oil for you. I'll link her site below. She did not ask me to do this, but I love you, Danny. I can't put you on without actually putting you on, you know? can't do it. I'm gonna wrap this up with the last thing, which you might actually be able to find for free lying around your house: a notebook and some paper to do journaling and planning. Over the years, I've migrated this to my iPad, so if you have one of those sitting around, pick it up. And first off, even as a person who journals, sometimes I don't feel like journaling. And if that's you, maybe a majority of the time, especially if you don't like writing, then I encourage you to try one thing to make it a little bit easier. Look up specific journaling prompts that you can use for your day. Instead of trying to brain dump it, pick some questions like, what went well today? What am I excited for? Write 3 to 5 sentences, and that can be your journaling. I'd also include in a journal goal planners, habit trackers, so you can track your progress on anything you might be working towards. And this is where planning comes in, and what I do is a different story, but what I always try to do is give y'all just, where to start. And where to start with this is to simply write out a rough schedule of the day. It doesn't have to be by the minute. Maybe you can just be AM, evening, PM. Write a couple to-dos and track your progress on those. Track what you might be doing throughout the day. I want you to really try, because this can be so impactful. Personally, I've found that in the past, I struggled with feeling like I was in control of my life. I was constantly feeling like things were happening to me and I was just there for the ride. So by writing an intention for the course of your day, writing an intention for what you plan to do, you're then putting your hands on the steering wheel just a little bit more. And of course, life will happen, things will come up impromptu, but what you'll start to do is establish a pattern in your head of, when I write something down, I do it. Because you'll see that more often than not, that's how it happens. We cannot control every detail of the world around us, but we can control how we think and how we feel. And journaling is a great place to start with that. So if I add a little notebook to this, we are at $50.20. Which is bothering me, but I didn't actually search for lowest prices, so you could probably get it for cheaper. You know what? I'm gonna do some digging and I'll put an actual $50 list in the description for you. So now that we've covered the absolute essentials, do you guys wanna see what my favorite for funsies things are? Let me know down below and maybe subscribe so you can see when that video comes up. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye.